What happens when the ocean that has protected, fed, and sustained a people for thousands of years suddenly turns against them? What happens when the sound of waves is replaced by silence? When fishermen return homes with empty nets? When the shoreline that once carried life becomes covered with the remains of creatures that once called the ocean home? In Papua New Guinea's New Ireland province, this is the reality communities are facing. Thousands of marine animals have died. People have become sick after contact with affected waters. Fishing has been restricted. And a question hangs over the islands.
So many of these species are dying along the coast. Now, this is not normal. Something's happening which we don't know about that is killing these fish, and we need to find out what it is. The eyes are gone in all of them. This is not normal.
What is happening to the sea? But to understand the scale of this tragedy, we must first understand what the ocean meant to New Ireland before everything changed. Before the mystery of dying ocean, New Ireland was a place where life moved with the rhythm of the sea. For generations, the ocean was not just a landscape surrounding the islands. It was the foundation of everyday life. Before the first light of dawn touched the horizon, fishermen were already preparing their canoes and boats. With the sound of paddles cutting through calm waters, they traveled to reefs and fishing grounds that their ancestors had known for generations. They knew where the fish gathered. They knew when the tides changed. They knew the seasons of the sea. This knowledge was passed down from parents to children, not through books, but through experience, tradition, and connection with nature. The sea provided. It provided food for families. It provided income for communities. It provided a way of life. Along the coastline, children grew up swimming in clear waters, exploring coral reefs and learning the relationship their communities had with the ocean. At low tide, families gathered shellfish from the reef. Fishermen returned with fresh catches that would become meals shared around village fires. Markets carried the smell of fresh seafood. Communities gathered, celebrated, and survived because of the generosity of the ocean. For the people of New Ireland, the sea was more than a resource. It was part of their identity. It was connected to their stories, their traditions, and their future. The ocean was their supermarket, their highway, their workplace, and their home. But in December 2025, something began to change. Along the eastern coastline of New Ireland, villagers noticed something they had never seen before. Fish were floating lifeless in the water. Marine animals were washing ashore. At first, many hoped it was an isolated event. But the deaths continued. Crabs, shellfish, sea cucumbers, and other marine species began disappearing from the waters that had sustained communities for generations. The problem spread from Kafkaf and surrounding villages to other coastal areas. The ocean that once represented abundance had become a place of uncertainty. Residents reported unusual changes in the environment. Some areas experienced discolored or cloudy water. Others reported strong sulfur-like smells coming from the shoreline during low tide. The signs suggested that something serious was happening beneath the surface. Then came the impact on human health. Residents who entered affected waters reported skin problems, including rashes and lesions. Others experienced stomach illnesses and respiratory complaints after contact with seawater or consuming seafood from affected areas. Reports indicate hundreds of people, and possibly more, have been affected during the crisis.
Well, this place has been declared as a disaster zone, and automatically any government in its right thinking should see that these people are denied of access to an everyday access that helps them to feed themselves. And automatically any right thinking authorities would come down to their aid. To this date, nothing.
For communities that have depended on fishing for generations, the restrictions brought hardship. The advice was clear: avoid fishing and avoid consuming seafood from affected areas until investigations are complete. But for many families, this created a difficult reality. The sea that once provided the daily food had become something they could no longer trust. Scientists and government agencies are now working to find answers. For the people of New Ireland, this crisis is about more than dead marine animals. It is about the relationship between people and the sea that has existed for countless generations. It is about food, culture, livelihoods, and survival.